Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. Happy Tuesday. Like and subscribe for more content. I post every Monday through Friday. Let's get straight into it. We have a few things to talk about today. Still nothing crazy going on in free agency or in just any aspect right now. Everything with Halliburton so far is going great. And then just random stuff coming about, ratings and rankings and just all that fun stuff. But, I've been reading up on a few things, so I just thought I'd talk about, yeah, simple stuff. But first and foremost, Andrew Nembhard, we drafted him 31st overall in 2022. But the Lakers came out and said that they actually wanted him over Max Christie, which I don't blame them. Max Christie is now on the Mavericks. He was part of that Luka Doncic trade. And Nembhard is a starter on his team. Christie never really broke into anything crazy other than a good role player. But now he could be a lot better in Dallas with more opportunity, especially now that Irving's going to be hurt for a bit. And you never know with Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis, they're a little bit more injury prone as well. So Christie's been getting his moments. He's going to continue to get his moments. But Nembhard's now our starting point guard. He was our starting shooting guard. But obviously with the injury, now he's going to jump into that one. And he has shown that he could have easily been a first-round pick. I mean, obviously he was a first pick in the second round, which is about as close to a first-round pick as you can get. But he's been magnificent ever since he stepped foot on a Pacers court. He's had a little bit of injury bug here and there, a little bit of inconsistency here and there. But he is one of the best players on our team, and he has been since he came onto the roster. And it's been a blessing to have him on the team. Always defending their best guard and holding them to not normal stat lines that they would normally get. Great defense against Shea, great defense against Brunson. When he guarded Lillard for those few games, great defense against Lillard. So it's just, we're lucky to have him. So, sorry, Lakers. But this one's not really about basketball, but Dave Slipper, he has been an usher for 58 years, which is a long time to be working with the same team, especially, doing the job that he does. Now, it's said that he had, ushered his first Pacers game when he was a teenager. Then he ushered his first Fever game when he was 48. And then recently ushered one of his first finals games, which is amazing. He's been around for so long with the same team. So congrats to him for sticking around as long as he has. Big Pacers fan. And I just thought it was a real cool thing to add into this video just because, we're kind of in an era where people don't really stick around to one job for a long time. But for him to be with the Pacers as long as he has is just incredible to me. Obviously, the Fever have been around for a while now, and he was there when they first started, and obviously there when the Pacers first joined the NBA, ABA years. So, congrats to him for being here as long as he has, and it's just crazy to see people holding the fort down that long. Okay, now people are probably gonna get tired of me for talking about different free agents, but I personally think that we should bring in Ben Simmons for a few reasons. Number one, mainly in a training camp deal. I want to see if he can compete with some of the two-way players that we have, or just some of the, lesser rotation players. Just because Simmons doesn't need to play point guard. Simmons can jump into the 4, he can jump into the 3 because of his height and just because of the way his skill set is. He can be a backup 4. He can be pretty much behind Obi Toppin and kind of just compete with players like Jarris Walker, or even compete with some of the rookies just to see who belongs to that spot. Now, obviously, I'd rather keep the rookies just because let them develop, let them, get their playing time and just see what they can do. But a player like Simmons still has stuff to prove. Now, do we even know if he wants to continue playing basketball? That's a thing in itself. We don't know if he even wants to continue playing. But if he does, why not the Pacers? We've seen what the Pacers can do with players. Player will come to Indy and automatically have their best season. Happened with Oladipo. Happened with Sabonis. Happened with Halliburton. This happened with pretty much any player that we've traded for over the last few seasons has had their best seasons in Indy. So, what makes Ben Simmons so different? But obviously, we know how Simmons has been over the last few years. Very injury prone, very disassociated from basketball. Kind of, jumps in the game and doesn't really. It's like he doesn't really try. Now, obviously, I don't want that on the team. I want the rookie to about 5-year Ben Simmons, the one that was going to back-to-back All-Star games, back-to-back All-Defensive, All-NBA teams, the one that was just dominating the league at one point. But it's unfortunate to know that there might not be that Ben Simmons in there anymore. Just the one that keeps getting trashed on by analysts, by his teammates, by everyone. Just someone who can't seem to have a team that wants them right now. And then last but not least, simple as this: work hard, play hard. The Pacers have a very hard-working team. We wouldn't have made the finals if we didn't. And it's pretty much a similar roster than we had last year. Obviously, we don't have Turner, we don't have Thomas Bryant, and we don't have Halliburton for just this year. But there's still a lot that this team can accomplish. Because everyone on this team is a workhorse. Everyone on this team knows their role and knows what to do and when to do it. And that's why I'm not necessarily worried about this year. I think this team could still make it far, no matter the circumstances. I still think this team can make it far, but it's just we need to want it. We need to want it. We know we can have it. We were there. We were there not even 3 months ago. We were there, and this team has exceeded all expectations over the past 2 years. I mean, making the conference finals as a 6 seed, making the finals as a 4 seed, getting the Thunder to 7 games, almost beating them in that 7th game would have been probably a win under different circumstances. But the Pacers just gotta show the NBA that they want it, and all these analysts that keep ranking them super low or giving them horrible grades in the off season or their starting lineup. It's just their off season wasn't even that bad. Now, yeah, I understand they're giving lower grades mainly because they didn't negotiate a deal with Turner, but just re-signing some other players, keeping most of your team, and then getting a player like Jay Huff for basically nothing. That's a pretty good off season, if I do say so myself. But as always, I'm your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby, and go, Sirs.